So we had a dog named Ludwig, Bouvier et Bouvier. And our friends picked him up from a kennel they liked in Wales, drove him to 6 weeks, I believe, old, drove him to London, flew him to New York, and brought him to Pittsburgh. The dog, within 2 months of his life, had traveled more than most people from Pittsburgh. Anyway, the dog came, beautiful dog, came with a certificate of 7 generation of champions. Father of the champions, show dog and so forth. Not that we were going to show, we were just going to ask him to sit. That was the extent of, lucky we didn't name him dog. Indians name their dog. Anyway, so Ludwig. And my wife told me that the dog was here. I was at the office, and I drove home hurriedly. A little ball of fur, beautiful. And the moment he saw me, he threw up on an Oriental rug, and everybody's puzzled. He was doing fine, and he looked at me and he threw up. And so later on, I asked him, like, why did you throw up? And he said, I was coming from England to America. I thought I would meet, beautiful people, tall, with blue eyes and blonde hair and so forth. And here you are, a short, bald, old Indian. And he said, if I wanted to see Indians, I could have just stayed in London. Filled with Indians. Anyway, but dogs need a hierarchy. They want to know who's number one, who's number two, number three. So me being a man, as written in the good book, should be number one, he figured. He's a big male dog, he should be number two. And my wife, being a petite Asian woman, should be number three. But in real life, of course, she's number one, he's number two, and I'm taking out the garbage every day. So when we go for a walk, he questioned me and he says, why don't you stand up for yourself? Be a man, and we could both handle this. And I told him, it's not India, that every time you see a woman, even if she has a doctorate, you tell her, go make tea. And they go make tea. It's amazing. In America, you can't do that anymore, So anyway, poor dog was very confused. You should have taken him to a shrink and all that. Eventually, he died. And before he died, I asked him, I suggested to him that when he meets God, which I'm sure he would, ask God, why the hell did he have to die? He was such a good dog, obedient, funny, did everything. I mean, he never did anything wrong. He just chewed one expensive Italian shoe I had. It's nothing in your whole life, And all the evil people are in positions of power. They live forever. They have money. They have fame. They have love. They have adoration. And the rest, the poor dog had to die. Not even 10 years old. And then ask God, what exactly is the plan here? Why create such beauty and such wonderful world and fantastic things and give people life and especially humans, free will, somewhat of a free will, and then kill them. And then almost everybody in nature has to kill somebody, things which have life. Even elephants have to eat, leaves and grass or something which has life, and then cause pain to others to survive. I mean, what exactly is the thinking behind this? This is where they say God works in mysterious ways. You're right. Anyway, so I haven't heard back from Ludwig, and I probably am not going to heaven, so I don't know if I'll meet him and Maybe he'll send him a message or something. It is fixed. So I recently learned that in America, now death has become optional. Did you know that? This is what this video is about. Death is now optional in America. I found this on the internet. You see, these days all the wisdom is on the internet. As I mentioned in a previous, in an earlier podcast, this is why God asked Al Gore to invent the internet, so we could all have the knowledge. So, how do you avoid death in America? You have to do three things. Three things. Number one, stop smoking. So I like to go jogging, and play sports, and I had a blister in my toe, and I went to see it wouldn't go away. I went and saw my doctor. He gave me a cream, told me to soak my foot in some kind of solution, take my don't jog for a few days, and stop smoking. I don't know what the connection was from my foot in the having a blister and smoking. You know why people don't smoke anymore, right? So people want to be healthy when they die. I have another one for you. So smokers are a dying breed. Smokers are a dying breed. Clever, isn't it? I thought of it myself. I only look stupid. So I smoke a pipe, with tobacco in it. And the reason I smoke a pipe is because when people look at me, they don't think I'm an idiot. It hides my shallowness. It works. Anyway, so number one rule: stop smoking. Number two rule for avoiding death: eat right and exercise. You knew it was coming, right? It's in the Constitution. It's in the American Constitution, they said. I haven't read it. Nobody's read it. The president hasn't read it. So why should I have to read it? But I believe it's in the Constitution. It's one of the amendments. In America, you have to eat right and exercise. And if you do that, that's the path to avoiding death forever. So, number three, and this is where the problems arrive, because most people can now manage no smoking and exercise and eat, have kale every day, kale shakes instead of ice cream or chocolate, do push-ups and sweat a lot and so forth. Third one is a difficult one. This is where I got screwed up, Third one is vote for the right candidate. Vote for the right party. I think you're in trouble. I think most of us are doomed. If you didn't vote at all, if you don't vote at all, then not only will you die, they will automatically reserve a seat for you in hell. True. It's true.